Hari Om. Let's start with a prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Guru Deva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the question and answers on Vedanta, and the question is how we can realize ourselves. And we discussed is Avasthatraya Viveka and Drupdusya Viveka. And the third technique that is used is Panchakosha Viveka. What is Panchakosha Viveka? There are Panchakosha means 5 koshas. That means kosha is a sheath where the sword is inside the sheath. So sword is covered with the sheath. So here it is as though covered. So what are they as though covered? I am, the self that I am is covered as though by these 5 sheaths. So the first sheath is the grossest one, that's called the Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha is that which is born of Annam and sustained by Annam and goes back into become Annam. Annam means a food. Annam also means that what you eat is Annam, and if you eat too much, it eats you also. That's also Annam. So Annamaya Kosha means it is completely filled with Annam only, because that's what you are born with, and that's what you sustain also, and that's what you become also after the body, when it is deteriorates, you become for food for others. So it is essentially Annamaya Kosha. Why it is Kosha? Because I take myself, I am the body. So wherever the body is, I am there. If I am not there, only because my body is here or not there. So the where body is, Dehe, I am because body is fat, I am fat. Body is lean, I am lean. Body is black, I am black. Body is white, I am white. This is because association with the body is so intense that all our life we transact with it. And most of it people cater only for the body level. Body needs this, body needs that, and all the foods and varieties of foods that are very used to, all at the level of the physical body level, and catering for body pleasures becomes a whole life pattern itself for many. And that is because of intense identification with the body. This is my body, but I am the body. This is my body, is mamakaram. I don't touch my body. But at the same time, I am the body, identification is so intense, the limitations of the body become my limitations. And that because intense identification. So intense identification can cause a lot of problems. After eating scrumptious lunch and relaxing in the lazy boy chair and watching a TV, and there I see hero, heroine, or after like a Telugu movie, Hindi movies or Indian movies, where after duets and then they start getting in trouble and they are in suffering, and you are also crying along with them. Why? Because it's only on TV, it's all the lights of shades. The original people who acted are also enjoying somewhere. But I am sitting there crying because my identification intensely with those actors, so that's what makes the problem, identification. And my mother identifies with the baby so much that the baby may physically suffering, but mother suffers more mentally because of the suffering of the baby. That intense identification makes one suffer, and that is a body level. So first thing is I am not the body, because in the deep sleep state I am not identifying with the body. I am not the mind also. All the emotions and all that people go emotional attachments and all that are at the mental level, even that I am not. So kadekanta kaste putraha samsaroya vidya majiva chitra. What's wife, what's the wife, what is the mother, what is all are relationships at the emotional level, but one has to go beyond that emotions and see what is that, because Lord is pervading in them also. If I look at the Lord himself, then all other relationships are common. So that Next level is the senses level, the food level, then the senses, the pranamaya kosha, then manomaya kosha, then vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is intellectual association. Hey, I am so and so, I am the one who solved, I am the one who did all that. All intellectual accomplish, all our biodata is essentially identification with intellect, and that is intense, so intense, and that is so high, and that becomes the inner koshas. So we have the annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha. And also the last one is called the Anandamaya Kosha. Even the so-called the happiness that I get in the deep sleep state or even outside the deep sleep state also, it's part of the suffering only, or a kosha, in the sense that it is a bondage, because for the enjoyment of my own happiness I do all sorts of things. And if I identify I am the real self, where is only reflected Ananda, what about the original Ananda? It should be really great if I can turn my attention. How? By rejecting what I am not, in the process claiming the one who is rejected. So I can reject everything because they are all koshas only, but I cannot reject myself because I have to be there to even reject myself. Then what is that? I cannot objectify it. I can also see directly without the kosha, without the koshas. I have to use the manomaya kosha, mind, at the same time shift my attention to that, because of which mind is able to add. That's what the Upanishad says. Yan manasa na manute, that which mind cannot think of, but it's not an object to think of. Then manasa na manute, manohar, that which mind cannot think of. That because of which mind has the capacity to think, and that because of which eyes have a capacity to see, and that because of which ears have a capacity to listen. That shifting attention has to be done using the mind. That's where the trick of the problem and the difficulty also, because I had to use the mind to go beyond the mind. So beyond the mind is not getting mind off, it is using the mind and see how the mind is able to know things without paying attention to what is known, but to that consciousness because of which I am conscious of. That is what is essentially involved in the self-realization. The shifting attention is very subtle, and we may say easy to make a statement, but difficult to leave the objectification and identify myself with the subject when the object is still there. That's where the problem. It's like looking at the moon and seeing the moonlight, and looking at the moon and seeing the moonlight and see the sunlight there. That is how the self-realization involves. With that, we stop. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamiva Sishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari